Hi there and welcome back. If you're new to my channel, then welcome to doing some yoga with me on the mat. So let's get ready. Unroll your mat, grab props if you'd like to use them. Please remember to modify your practice today as it makes sense for you. The rest of it we will play by ear. I'll give you a few moments to get those things and I'll see you right back. Hi again. We're going to start in a seated position on our heels. So feel free, I'll demo this with props. So if you're feeling good with the knees to sit right on your heels, go ahead, do that. If this doesn't feel great with the knees, maybe take a block between your heels, sit back. That tends to take pressure off the heels. That might feel good enough. Or you can take a thinly folded blanket, lift up, slide the blanket right behind your knees, sitting back. That also reduces the pressure on the knees. That ought to do the trick. Let yourself settle into your seat, letting your hands rest on the legs. You can just let your hands fall into your lap, whatever's comfortable here. And if it's comfortable to do so, go ahead, close your eyes. Let yourself take just some nice, easy breaths as we settle in, letting go of all the things off the mat. Setting ourselves up for a nice focused practice so we can tune into what's happening in the body. All right, when we're letting go of all the things off the mat, we're not checking out. We're allowing ourselves space so that we can actually turn our attention inward and focus on what's happening in the body. Just let your breath move nice and easy, in and out through the nose. Sitting tall, feel the shoulders just melt down away from the ears. And softening the space between the eyebrows. Let's hold it here for about 3 more deep breaths. Then opening up the eyes if they're not already open. Let your hands lower to the mat, fingertips on the mat. Then walk your fingertips back a little bit, just slightly behind you. We're not going to work super deep into the stretch because we're not warmed up, but maybe lift your hips off the heels a tiny bit and slightly scoop the tailbone so you can feel the quads wake up, the quads kind of loosen up a little bit here. Relax the shoulders back, just look past the nose and hold for another deep breath. Come back onto your heels, returning upright, come onto hands and knees. We'll wake up the legs a little bit more. Just slide the right leg back behind you with your toes tucked on the mat. Gently press the right heel back a little bit. A very subtle stretch, but just enough to wake things up. We'll hold for another deep breath. Keep your hips level, float the right leg up, bend your knee and bring the right knee outside the left leg. You can stay here or shift back a little bit if that feels nice for the hips, and hold for another deep breath. Coming back up, return your right knee over to the right side, switch left leg back, toes tucked, gently press your left heel back for a little wake up stretch. Keeping your hips level, lift the left leg, bend your knee, bring the left knee outside the right leg. You can hold it here or shift back. Give it another full breath. We'll return back up. Send your left knee over to the left side. Spread the fingers wide, tuck your toes. Come to downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. And of course, you're welcome to walk out your feet in the first down dog if you like. Pedaling out the heels. Bending one knee, the other. Just getting the whole body on board for movement. We'll lift up the right leg high, put a bend in the knee, open the hip, head down, peek under the left arm, one breath. Then level the hips, pigeon, bring the right knee through, extend your left leg back, sit tall, and we're just gonna hold here for one breath. Find some length along the spine, sit tall, give it one more inhale. Then as you exhale, roll off to your right leg, sweep the left leg around for Janu Shirshasana, the right foot against the inner left thigh. Start with the hands on the left leg, slide the hands out, reach for your foot. Use a strap or belt if you need, otherwise just let your hands settle wherever it's easiest for them to do so. Lengthen, stretch, breathe one more time. And coming back up, return upright, sweep your left leg back as you return to pigeon, sit tall. We'll take it to down dog and step back. With your next big inhale, take it forward to plank. You can chaturanga or drop the knees or even lower all the way down onto your belly. Untuck the toes, slide fingertips back a tiny bit, lift into cobra or upward facing dog. Then we'll take it back to downward facing dog, press back. Switching sides, lift your left leg, bend the knee deep, open the hip, head down, peek under your right arm and hold for a breath. Level the hips, bring your left knee through for pigeon. Right leg back, sit tall, level the hips, lengthen the spine, hold, taking a deep breath in. Then with your exhale, roll to the left hip, Janu Shirshasana, your right leg, sweep it around, left foot to the inner right thigh, square the hips off toward the right leg. Hands on your leg, walk the hands out, reach for your right foot, lengthen. Again, if you need to use a strap or belt, go for it. Otherwise, let your hands settle wherever it's most reasonable for them to do so, and hold for one more breath. Releasing, return upright, head up. Your right leg, sweep it back behind you again for pigeon. Going out the same way we came in. Let's take it to downward facing dog again, step back. This time in your downward facing, put a little bend in the knees, look forward, walk or hop your feet to the front of the mat. Fold over the legs when you get there, relax the head down as you fold. Taking an inhale, sweep the arms around, rise up. Grab your right wrist with the left hand, stretch up and over to your left. Coming back to center, go the other way, grab your left wrist, stretch to your right. Come back to center, dive over the legs, chest up, inhale. Send the left leg back as you exhale, low lunge. Drop your left hand down, take side plank, Vashisthasana. Face the right side of the room. Stack the right leg on top. Sweeping the right arm up. Step your right foot behind you on the mat. Come into a little mini flip, sweeping the right arm over. Now lower the hips down on the mat. Let's take a little seated spinal twist. Your left leg is straight, the right knee is bending, and just wrap your left arm around the right leg, open to the side. You're twisting to the right, but you're facing the opposite side of the room. Hold for another deep breath. We're turning around a little bit here. Come back through center. Straighten the right leg. Now separate your feet wide, coming into Upavishta Konasana. So it's a wide-legged straddle stretch. Start with the hands behind you. Sit tall. Lean in, and if there's room to reasonably do so, you can walk the hands out. You don't have to go super deep into the stretch. We're still, kind of warming up the body here. Keep the toes pointing up or slightly back and hold for one more breath. Returning upright, walk your hands in. Take both hands behind you, shuffle the feet together. Return to your side plank where you started. Plant your left hand down. Take your right hand in front of you. Right leg on top of the left, facing the right side of the room. Come into center plank pose. Big inhale, chaturanga or drop the knees. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing or child's pose. Let's give it 3 deep breaths. One more breath. Lifting up the right leg high, bend the knee, open the hip, head down. Level the hips, bring your knee to the nose and curl in. Inhale, right leg high. Low lunge, big step through the hands. Step all the way forward to the front and fold over the legs, head down. Inhale, sweep the arms around. Grab the right wrist with the left hand, stretch up and over left. Return to center, grab the left wrist, stretch up and over right. Come back to center, dive over the legs. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, right leg, send it back in low lunge. Vashisthasana, side plank, drop the right hand down. Face the left side of the room, stack the left leg on top, just going the other way. Left arm over. And stepping your left foot behind you on the mat, sweep the left arm over for a little mini flip. Hold for another deep breath in. Then exhaling, lower the sit bones down on the mat, facing the back of the room now. Your left knee bending, right leg is straight. Seated spinal twist, go left, take the right arm, wrap it around, twist to your left. Sit tall and hold for another deep breath. We'll come back through center, little counter stretch. Then straighten out your left leg to the just straight out. Separate your feet again wide, coming into Upavishta Konasana, wide-legged fold. Separate the feet as far as is comfortable, like reasonable. You don't have to overdo any of this here. Hands behind you, fingertips behind you, sit tall. Lean into the stretch. Option if you want to work it a little deeper, walk both hands around front for a slightly deeper stretch. Make sure the toes continue pointing up or slightly back. We'll hold it here for another full breath. And returning upright as you walk the hands in, head up, hands back, shuffle the feet back together again. We'll return to side plank where we were. Facing the left side, take your right hand on the mat, your left leg, left hip on top, left arm over, big inhale. Take it back to center plank. Exhale, breathing in. Chaturanga, or drop the knees. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing, or child's pose. We'll hold it for 3 more full breaths. One more time. And taking an inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, head down. Exhale, level the hips and bring the knee to the nose, round in. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, low lunge, big step through the hands. Step all the way forward to the front and fold over the legs. Bring your feet together, sit deep in chair pose, Utkatasana, arms high. Palms to prayer, keep the hips down. Let's twist to the right, hook the left elbow, outside the right leg, thumbs at heart center, chest up, look over the shoulder if you can, one more breath. We'll bring it to center, then dive over the legs, head down, send the left leg back, low lunge. Put a soft bend in the back knee, look forward, setting up high lunge, press down, lift all the way up, reach high. As the arms lift up, the shoulders move down, keep a nice deep bend in the front knee. You can soften the back knee if you like, and we'll hold for another deep breath. Reach both arms behind the back, interlace fingers, chest up, heart open. Lean in for a brief warrior 3. Float the back leg up, lift up, fly forward, hips level, one breath. Take it back to high lunge, step back, arms over, warrior 2, arms out and hold for another deep breath. And identify your left arm and take your left arm under the right arm, coming into eagle arms. We'll straighten the front leg, the right leg, and take a modified Skandasana side lunge. Go to the left, back of the mat as you stretch the right leg. Bend deep through the left knee, one breath. Lower both hands to the mat, come into low lunge at the front as you walk it around. When you get there, keep your left hand down and float the right arm high, low lunge twist. Reach up, give it one more inhale. Exhale, lower the right hand, down dog, step back. You can hold in your down dog or flow through. Hold for one more breath. Inhaling, right leg high, bend the knee, open the hip, head down. Exhaling, level the hips, pull the knee to the nose and round. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, cross it over, come into fallen triangle pose. Step your right foot all the way through the left side as you roll to the edges of the feet. Float the left arm over, big inhale, reach up. Exhaling, the left hand down, low lunge, step your foot through. Step all the way up to the front and fold over the legs. Feet back together, toes, heels touch, Utkatasana, sit deep, arms up. Palms to prayer, twist left, hook the right elbow. Look to the left, maybe peek over your shoulder and hold for one more breath. Return to center, then fold over the legs, head down, send the right leg back, low lunge. Setting up high lunge, nice and easy, take your time. Press down, look forward, then lift the arms all the way overhead. Arms up, shoulders down, nice deep bend in the left knee. Option to soften the back knee if you choose or not. One more breath. Setting up warrior 3 modified, arms back, interlace fingers, opposite pinky finger on top this time. Chest up, shoulders back, lean in, right leg floated up. Fly forward, try to level the hips, one breath. We'll take it back to high lunge, step back, arms over, reach up, warrior 2. Reach out, one breath. Setting up eagle arms, identify the right arm. Wrap your right arm under the left, wrap elbows and wrists, modified Skandasana, go to the right. Straighten the front leg, the left leg, bend deep through the right knee. One breath. Lower hands to the mat. Transition to low lunge at the front. Pivot, walk your hands around. When you get there, open your left arm up to the left side, reach high. One more big inhale. Exhale, lower the left hand, down dog, step back. You can hold or flow through. And we'll give it another deep breath. Taking an inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, head down. Exhale, level the hips and pull the knee to the nose. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, cross over, fallen triangle, step through, roll to the left hand, right arm lifted up, one more big inhale. Exhale, right hand down, low lunge, step through the hands. Step all the way up to the front and fold over the legs, head down. Keep your feet hip width distance. We'll do a little Padangusthasana, grab big toes in Yogi Toe Lock. Lift the chest, inhale. Then exhale, elbows out, head down, gently pull toward the floor. Sit bones up, shoulders away from the ears. Option to modify here in Ragdoll if you prefer to hang over the legs with your hands holding opposite elbows. One more breath. Taking an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release the toes. Bring your feet back together again, toes and heels touch. Let's do a little Bakasana crow pose. Feet are together. Bend at your knees so you can sit deep. Drop the palms flat, spread the fingers wide. Let your heels rise up, bending at the knees. Bend both elbows back, bring your knees onto your upper arms as close to the armpits as you can get them. Very important point here, look in front of your hands. If you're looking straight down, I assure you this is not going to happen. So you want to look in front of the hands, keep the hips lifted, come forward onto your big toes. Now lift your feet up, bring your big toes together, and breathe. No holding the breath, let it move. One more. And bring your feet back down. Lift the sit bones up, forward folding, step the feet hip width distance apart. Padahastasana, hand to foot pose. This time, head up, fronts of the feet up, Slide the hands under. Now drop the toes down, drop the head down as you continue rounding. Option to take ragdoll pose again. Just make sure if you're holding hands to elbows, you have switched the grip so the opposite hand is on top. Let's give it another 2 or 3 deep breaths. And we'll inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, releasing out the hands. Let's, you know what? Let's actually bend the knees nice and deep. Just have a seat on the mat. So sit back, extend both legs straight forward. Sit tall, all 10 toes pointing up. We'll do some Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Chest up, arms high. Inhale as you reach up. Then exhale, come forward and grab your feet. Grab toes, heels, use a strap or belt or anything if you need. Lengthen forward, shoulders back, and hold for another deep breath. Then inhaling, lift the chest. Exhaling, releasing out the feet. Let's bend at the knees, roll down onto the back. When you roll back, hug the knees in toward the chest, rock a little side to side, maybe take a happy baby pose if you like, whatever suits you here. And from here, as we wind things down before settling into Shavasana, bring both feet back down on the mat. Keep your knees bending. Separate the feet and the knees about hip width distance apart. So just a little bit, not too far apart, not too close together. Keep your toes pointing forward. Relax the arms alongside the body. Press down. Then inhale, lift up. Your heels should be underneath your knees. No farther, no closer. You can grab the edges of the mat, or I like to always interlace fingers behind the back. Then I can roll my shoulders back a little bit. Keep the hips lifting up. Gaze up. Relax the toes. Knees forward. Let your inner thighs dial in a little bit. Hips up, tailbone forward, come up. Give it one more inhale. Then exhale, release the hands, hips down. With both feet flat on the mat, take your right ankle above the left knee. Setting up reverse figure 4. Pick up your left leg, interlace fingers, hug the leg in. I like to interlace fingers on top of the left leg. Feel free to do that as long as your knees are not giving you any kind of grief. So if you feel pressure doing this, don't do that. You're going to take the hands behind the left leg. Keep your feet flexed and hold it here for one more breath. Keep your right ankle exactly where it is, perched above the left knee. Just let go of the hands. Relax your arms out toward the sides. Drop your left foot flat on the floor, on the mat rather. Drop your legs over to the left. And maybe shift your gaze to the right. Hold for a breath. Come back to center, go the other way. So now you're dropping both legs over to your right. Maybe shift your gaze to the left and hold for another deep breath. Coming back through center, lower your right foot on the mat. We'll go the other way. Take your left ankle above the right knee. Hug your right knee in toward the chest, either interlacing fingers behind the right leg or on top below the knee. Flex your feet. Try to relax the shoulders a little bit. One more breath. Then keeping your left ankle exactly where it is above your right knee, just release the hands. Lower your right foot flat onto the floor, arms out to the side. Now dropping your legs off to the right. Your left foot is flat on the floor. Maybe shift your gaze left and hold for a breath. Return through center. Go the other way, dropping your legs left while turning your head to the right. Hold for another deep breath. We'll come back to center, lower both feet back down on the mat, and hug the knees in toward the chest. Bring your feet back down on the mat. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana. We'll hold it for 3 deep breaths. Soles of the feet touch, knees drop out, hands on the legs or on your belly. Feel free, if you like, you can line up the blocks under the knees if the hips need a little support here. Nice, easy breaths in. Easy out. 2 more. And taking hands to the knees, fold the knees in together, hug the knees in, take a deep breath in. Then with your exhale, bring the forehead to the knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release into Shavasana. Extend the legs out. Separate the feet a little bit. Turn the palms face up. Closing your eyes, give yourself a little bit of space, uncrease the brow, unclenching the jaw. Feel the shoulders melt back, feel the belly soften. Release through the hips and just relax fingers, toes, embracing these few moments of stillness before returning to your day. Feel free to stay a little longer if you have time to do so, resting up. Otherwise, I will leave you here today. Thank you again for sharing your practice with me. Until we meet again on the mat, namaste.